Hi there. Good morning. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. Oh, it's not a thrift haul. It's 30 minutes of my day. This is the mess I left when I turned off the lights last night and went downstairs. So I'm going to start my little timer here. Resume. There we go. So that my phone doesn't cut me off. And I'm really getting down to the last few little things that I'm doing for Big Little Chocolate Mocha here. Oh, I'm going to put that in. That's from some Happy Mail. I might find somewhere to put that. Because Chocolate Mocha is such a little chunky monkey, I am making a journaling board for her, and that way it can go in wherever the new owner is writing, and they've got a nice hard surface to write on. Hold on. So I got started. I decided to do a little combination on the journaling board of arithmetic, because this little book in a previous life was an arithmetic book, a children's arithmetic book, but it looks like it secretly was hoping to be a cookbook. So I wanted to honor both things. So I put a little strip down one side here from a children's arithmetic book, and then this page, actually both of these are out of an old Better Homes and Gardens cooking binder. I liked the blues with the browns. They're actually from off different pages. This has been fussy cut and glued on, so there's a little bit of layering going on there. And then on the other side, I've used this is a page out of a 1957 newspaper from Nova Scotia. So I want to do a little bit more on this side today, and then I've prepared a lace to go down the edge. I'm trying to decide whether I want the lace to go on this side or whether I want the lace to go on this side. And I think I want it on the other side. I think I like this just the way it is. Well, we can get to work and then I can decide. I do have to clean up a bit of mess here. Hold on. Oh, actually, no. This was out of the Better Homes and Gardens, and this was out of Betty Crocker's Dinner for Two. Isn't that beautiful? It's got some really nice vintage old photos that always looked like they were touched up. They always looked like they had extra color added to the color, which adds to their charm. So, oh, jeepers, I'm hitting things here. Hold on. Now I've got to make sure I'm centered again. Holy crow. Oh, there's I'm wearing lumberjack. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. All right. Nope, that's not going to work. I'm going to pause and get this right. I'm not going to waste precious minutes out of my 30 minutes. Hold on. There. Better. And hopefully I have a tripod to my left here. It seems to work the best for me when I attach my phone with a clamp to my desk. Whenever I do anything vigorous like erasing or that sort of thing, the whole camera goes. So when it's on a separate tripod freestanding, it won't vibrate when the desk gets moving, because I can be a vigorous crafter. So my problem is when I wheel my little pilot seat around here in the cockpit, sometimes I can bash into the tripod. So, alrighty. So what I want to do first is I'm going to put these on the other side. These are from a really cool book I found one day. I've already cut up the cover. It had a really pretty loose leaf cover, but the Crabtree and Evelyn cookbook, and it's just full of beautiful illustrations. There's some like nice photos, but it's actually got labels from some of their products, and it's just chock full of just gorgeous, gorgeous labels. So, I mean, look at that celery. That's a beautiful celery. So, I rated my Crabtree and Evelyn or Evelyn. I hear it pronounced both ways, so I tend to waffle back and forth. And I found raspberry chocolate crisps label, and I found just a cup of tea with a biscuit right there. So they've already been inked. But this, I want to give a little bit more sanding to the edge. Then I want to ink around the edge. I toyed with sealing this, Mod Podging it, and I'm just going to leave it. This is really old and worn. It feels almost like soft suede, but I'm just going to leave it as is. I just like the way it feels touch-wise, as a sensory kind of thing. So what I've done is both sides are just lovely and sanded smooth. It gives such a beautiful finish. It makes it look like, was this actually professionally made? Keep them guessing, right? So I just do my little waterfall technique to round off so that there's no sharp edges where you've had to trim your paper. And then I'm going to go in with some Distress ink. There we go. Cover myself in some dust. Good. So, gathered twigs. Let's do gathered twigs. I got a new one the other day, and I'm rather enjoying it. It's very similar in shade. I got Walnut Stain. So this is new, because I could not find gathered twigs anywhere, not even on Amazon. Walnut Stain, if you ever can't find, if you're a gathered twigs kind of person and you can't find it, you might find that you don't mind Walnut Stain. I don't mind it. I think I will use either one interchangeably. So, let's just, I'm finding using, I went back to my old little stomper thing here. I'm finding while this pad is still so new, it's pretty well sopping wet. And this seems to be a little bit more gentle in my aggressive distress inking. Vigorous distress inking? No, I can be aggressive with my distress inking. So, but it seems to be handling the, how wet this pad still is. So fall is really in the air where I live. The trees are beautiful. I keep hearing Lucy Maud Montgomery in my head saying how glad she was to live somewhere where there are Octobers, because I am too. I love fall. Some people love fall, but they also dread it because it means winter's coming. I love winter too, but I must admit I love winter because I'm blessed to have a warm, cozy home that I can stay in and look out the window and say, oh my, look at the winter. And I know that that's a luxury and a blessing. And I recognize that. But I do love it. I love fall. I love winter. I think my least favorite season is summer. I don't like being hot. So, and I don't particularly enjoy air conditioning, but I will put the air conditioning on because I don't like being hot. So that's why I love spring and summer, spring and fall and winter. So because this is thick, because this is chipboard that I used, it's thicker than just cardstock. If you don't have chipboard, I would glue a couple of pieces of, say, a file folder together. I'd put 2 or 3, probably 3, glue them together to get a really good. And I would probably use Fabri-Tac glue as opposed to a PVA type glue, a tacky glue, simply because you want it to remain as smooth as possible because it's going to be a writing board. So these are ways around making use of what you've got at your desk, at your hand. So, and then if you've had to glue several together, again, I would pull out one of my bricks or one of my rocks, and I'd put a cutting board on top and a brick or a rock on top and let it dry underneath with some weight on it to make sure that it dries lovely and flat. All right, so now let's get this going. I find this old paper, I never know whether it's going to sop it up or whether it's going to not even look like I've inked it. So let's see what this one does. This is certainly old. It was a charming little newspaper. I just love old newspapers. The kind of small town newspaper where they announce, you know, Mrs. Dorothy Black spent the weekend with her daughter over in the next town. Like, that was news. I love that. I had a neat thing happen. Was it on Twitter? I follow people on Twitter. I don't tweet. I've never tweeted, but I do have an account so that I've favorited some people that I like to follow what they have to say. And you know how that sort of thing, Twitter, Facebook, they'll make suggestions for you that you might be interested in. And I had a neat thing happen the other day. One of the, I think it was for the Government of Canada, and it was, it might have been military records or genealogical records, some sort of records office with the Government of Canada was suggesting that you might enjoy looking through their archives. And that makes sense because, of course, Google and all those places, they follow what you're looking for online. And I'm always looking through archives and that because I'm a genealogist. And it was just kind of fun because there I was on Twitter catching up on the news because, oh my goodness, the news these days. But they suggested I might enjoy the archives to look at World War II records, and the photo they used had my uncle in it. And I have to think that it was a coincidence because I clicked on it. I was hoping that they would list his name loud and clear, and they didn't. So that's where I know, because of course my uncle's name would come up if it really is lurking in my life the way the internet does. You know, when I go into my Ancestry.com account, you know, I'm always looking for things for him. He passed away many years ago. But it was just such a treat to see this picture. It was the Navy seaman on the Algonquin off the coast of Normandy on D-Day, and he and the other seamen were cleaning out the guns, the big guns on the deck of the ship. And there he was helping to clean out the big cannon guns, and it warmed my heart. How brave he must have been to be there on that day. And it was the photo that ran in our city, the Toronto newspaper at the time, and the family back here at home were so excited to see that photo because they knew that meant, at least on that day, he was still alive, that's how, you know, there wasn't internet back then. He wouldn't be able to find a computer and let them know or make a phone call. You didn't do that when you were you know, in the ocean on the Algonquin back then. So So heartwarming to have that picture just show up out of the blue when I was looking at other things on Twitter. All right, that looks nice. Do you like that? Oof. So yes, I think I am happy to, I want to put a little bit of lace down the side. I'm going with this lace again. I'm loving it because it's really soft. So what I did with it again is this lace, I got a whole roll of it last week at my thrift store. It's been encased in sort of some polyester stuff so that it won't be itchy. I guess they intended it to be used in, a dress or an outfit or something. And I don't like that. I think that's ugly. So what I did was I got a pretty little ribbon. I was hoping to use chocolate brown, and of all things, I don't have any chocolate brown ribbon that thick, and that's how thick I wanted it. So I went with ivory. And I sewed, I got this handy. I ran my ribbon along there, sewed it, and then I took off this so that I wouldn't lose that gathered because it's so lacy. I was worried if I took this off first, it would flatten right out, and then I'd be trying to figure out how to gather it again. So that's how I did this, and I think it just looks so much nicer than this casing of the polyester type material that's on the edge. So because we're doing fabric to paper, I am going to use Fabri-Tac to hold it down. I'm putting the lace down first for a reason, because I know my luck. I would glue these down first, because I've done this before. I would glue these down first, and then I think, oh, rats. And I did, I wouldn't have left myself enough. So the lace is going down first for that reason. And then this is the side that I've decided to leave smooth for the writing side. I won't be gluing anything that has any kind of dimension or texture on this side. It's just going to stay nice and smooth, and it'll just be pretty. So back to what I was doing before I keep chattering away. I'm enjoying this Sugar Belle bottle. It seems to be the latest rage amongst journal creators out there who I follow. I'm seeing more and more Sugar Belle bottles with Fabri-Tac in it. And I must say, I'm enjoying it. I'll tell you why I like it. I'm going to add a little bit more. I really want this lace to hold, so I'm widening it. I like, first of all, that the line of Fabri-Tac is smaller than the bottle that it comes in. Squeezes it out to be. And I find that this bottle is more flexible to squeeze than this harder bottle. And that seems like a little thing, but when you've got arthritis in your hands, oh my goodness, it just makes it a pleasure to... Now I just want to sort of fit this in. I'm fudging this in. Hold on, I want a pokey tool. I'm sorry, I'm right beside the microphone right now. There we go. I just want a pokey tool to sort of fit this all in. The nice thing about Fabri-Tac is you have quite a bit of time to work with it and drag it and squeeze it in. And because it's gathered, it's, I'm not looking for perfection here. I'm looking for charm. There we go. That looks nice. That looks nice. Here with the lace on the end, I cut around the shape of the flower to give that a little nicer finished look. And I'm thinking I might do the same thing here. I thought I would go up there, but I don't like that as much. So let's just... And then I left a little tail here and there. Just making sure that's really good and applied. All right. you get closed up again. The other morning was yesterday morning, before I turned on my camera. Wait, yesterday I didn't do 30 minutes. I did Happy Meal. I had gone to bed the night before and forgot to put the pin back in my art glitter glue. Oh my gosh, was that a headache? All right, so I just want this edge to look a little prettier, so I'm just going to follow the shape of the lace and just do a little bit of a haircut on it. And it's okay, I'm a licensed stylist. I have my journeyman's license up here in Canada. I get the same kind of license, a journeyman's license, that electricians, like people who do life-saving work, get a journeyman's license, and hairstylists, well, we're included. and you know what? There are some women out there who would say that us hairstylists are lifesavers. There we go. Yeah, I want to bring that in a bit. I don't like that one sticking out. There, I like that better. That looks nice. Okay. Let's get that out of the way. Let's put you back. And now I need to decide where I want to put the raspberry chocolate crisps. And then a little cup of tea and a biscuit. I think right there, so that we can still read about the golden syrup. Oh my goodness, I love golden syrup. That used to be my favorite thing. Golden syrup. What else do they call it? Corn syrup. It's so totally unhealthy for you, but it's yummy. I used to love it on toast. It was my favorite thing to put on pancakes or waffles. Not maple syrup and not, fake Aunt Jemima kind of syrup. I liked corn syrup. Oh, yum, yum, yum. But, of course, not good for you. Can't remember the last time I had it. And that's okay. I have memories of corn syrup. Gosh, I remember back in the day when I had my twins. Back in the day, they won't like knowing that now they have officially joined the back in the day group. But back then, if you had a baby that was refusing to take a soother and you really wanted them to take a soother, gosh, we used to dunk the end of their soother in corn syrup, and they'd suck on that soother for all it was worth, because of course corn syrup's sweet. It's like sugar syrup. Can you imagine? We don't do that anymore. Mind you, the things that used to be done, dip it in a little bit of whiskey or brandy or grape water back then. I had alcohol in it. And they survived. My children all survived in spite of me. Okay, I want this to fill sort of this little empty space right here. How am I for time? Let me take a look-see. Oh, I'm doing all right. I got 6 minutes. Beautiful. I'm hoping to get chocolate mocha finished up today. I have a few journaling cards to make. I have some old magazines that I want to make some journaling cards out of. Hold on, let me hold that straight. There we go. And you look nice. This is the newspaper. I put it crooked for a reason, because there were some blank areas and I knew I wanted to fill in the blank areas, so I did it like that on purpose. Anyhow, I have a few. I want to make a journaling card out of this chocolate caramels ad, and I have a few more over in a basket over here. So I'm going to make a couple of journaling cards. This is mostly going to be a writer's journal. I may use this up. This is the torn edge from where I put this math on. See, that fits right there. And I may very well just ink that up and run it down the edge of a page and put it in the book so that the little book will remember that it once was an arithmetic book until it got to become a desserts cooking type book. Oh, I put this in. Let me show you what I did here. I sewed in, I made a flip out of this index card divider. And I used fabric and I sewed it on. I hand sewed it on. I made the holes using the tiny little holes that are along the edge of a Tim Holtz ruler. Those holes are there. So if you've got one of those rulers, use those holes. So I poked the holes in and then I sewed it by hand and then I glued the fabric, and it's nice, and I like when a tip out is nice and floppy, not too stiff. And then I just glued it along the edge. So let's see what this looks like when we close it up. Oh, isn't that pretty? That looks nice. I didn't want to run lace down the edges because, of course, Chocolate Mocha here has all these cute little tabs along the edge made from illustrations of Pettifours from that Victorian Cakes book that I have. So that's the reason why there's no lace right on the edges of the page. You'd never see how cute those look. And I just love that waterfall look of the Pettifours peeking out over the edge. So this way, that can go in wherever. It can hold your spot and work like a bookmark and still look pretty when you close up your book. Now, there was one more thing I wanted to do in here, and I do have a little time. There's a card in here. Here it is. And I want to glue it shut and make it into a tuck spot. So it's rather new. It is, it was secondhand. It met my criteria, but it's rather new. So I just find that when it's that white, I would rather glue it shut and just enjoy that soft pink with the little cottage and have a little tuck spot. Because there's not a lot of pockets in this journal. So I'm going to, do I want to use a large one or a little one? Let's use a large one. Just so that things can go in it. I'm just going to eyeball this and then glue it closed. I'm not inking it on purpose because I find that sometimes with newer glossy paper, I wondered whether you'd let me or not. You're not letting me. It's that thick. I find with newer, glossier paper, it doesn't, the Distress ink just doesn't look very nice. All right, let's try and do it from this side. Maybe it's the glossy paper that's giving me a headache. So let's try again. Let's marry up where I've already cut. And if not, it'll at least leave a mark and I'll cut it with scissors. Yep, you're too thick. All right, well, let's put you in there and we'll show you what we do when it's being a stinker. There we go. We have ways of making you cooperate. So I'm going to go on the other side of the punch. Sorry, my arm's going to probably get in the way right now. I wish I could have done this smoother, and I should have done it before I put it in. I will smooth that out, because that looks rough and unpleasant. Doesn't look so bad on the other side. That's better. I'm going to take a bit more of this side and marry it up. I hope you can see. I can't tell right now if you can see what I'm doing. All right, dismiss. There we go. Don't give me a hard time. We're at a critical moment here. I want to even, I want to take a bit more off there. All right, and now sandpaper will smooth out a multitude of sins, almost like Distress ink does. Because I had to use scissors on it instead of that punch. This is a Fiskars punch. These aren't cheap, and it's very temperamental. I should have known better than to try it. That's okay. We're good now. And we can run some glue along there. So you can see I sewed it in when I sewed in the signature. There we go. We'll put that in there for now. Yay! All right, so my alarm went off. Yep, look at that, 31 minutes. So I'm going to work on a couple of journaling cards today, and then probably the next time you see Chocolate Mocha, it will be doing a flip through, because this pretty little chunky monkey is pretty well done. All right, take care. Thanks for joining me this morning, and I hope you all have a great day, a great rest of your day, and I hope you're safe and healthy and well. Take care. Bye.